Matt Townsend's here, relationship coach Matt Townsend, with some tips on how to be a better neighbor. So you just talk and we'll just enjoy this.
Well, I think if you have beverages, you don't need to even worry about being a good neighbor.
That's the key right there.
A good beverage goes a really long way. Now think about it. What's your best neighbor you've ever had? Think of the best neighbors ever. Were they the ones that just shut up and never talked to you?
No,
Kind of.
they were the ones that you counted among family, really. I mean, the ones that were close and tight, right? And friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Ones you can rely on.
That you can rely on. It's the weirdest thing. Marty and I, every neighborhood we've been in, we found best friends who became they were our front neighbors. So our best friends always were our neighbors. So this is how it all happens. Okay, 3 simple rules. Don't have a lot of time to talk about it. Rule number 1, you got to suspend certainty.
What does that mean?
Suspend certainty.
A lot of us feel absolutely sure we know exactly what our neighbors are thinking. We know their motives, we know their intentions, we know why they ran over our sprinkler, we know why they mow the lawn 10 times a week to make us look bad. And as long as you're not suspending your certainty, as long as you're sure you know why they're doing something, you're not going to be a good neighbor. So one of the rules is just pretend like you don't know, or assume you don't know. Assume the best intentions. You don't have to react just because you're having a bad day. You don't have to assume that they think like you think. They don't even have to be like you. Some of my favorite neighbors were completely different than me. And I didn't even assume they had to be like me. It was kind of a nice thing because they taught me new things.
Benefit of the doubt.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. And if you're suspending your certainty, then you can be open to more. So the second rule is to get into them and try to find out what their likes are and their dislikes. I had a neighbor, the coolest guy ever, who bought me a pair of Vans, white Vans.
The shoes?
Mm-hmm. They're hot. Yeah, because he used to mow the lawn in his Vans. And I never got it, I never understood it, but he would mow the lawn in his Vans, and then one day he bought me these great shoes, and I fell in love with mowing my lawn in Vans, with socks up to my knees. But you know what, I got into him, he says, it's so great because you can just leave your Vans, they can get dirty, you don't care, it doesn't matter, and anyway, the white shows that you start clean, and then by the end of the year, they're all green.
And then there was a grass stain competition, and it was the greatest
thing, but you get into so you got to get into your neighbor and find out how are they thinking, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, okay? And then once you know what their likes and dislikes are, the last rule is to serve them selflessly. Those same neighbors became our best friends because we knew they needed humor, they needed fun. One of the funniest things ever is she was going through a pregnancy, had toxemia, had to drink a lot of liquids and capture all of the liquids as they exited her body and take them to a doctor. So, funniest thing we ever did, we gathered huge milk jugs, 5 or 6 milk jugs, filled them with water, put coloring in them, and dropped them off and said, as our family to your family, we're trying to help you out a little bit in your testing. We want you to pass this test. We thought it was on volume, not quality. And, but we got into them. We knew what she needed right this time in her pregnancy wasn't another casserole. It was just simply, hey, give us some attention, make us laugh, let us have fun. 3 simple rules: suspend your certainty, get into them, find out what they really need the most, and then serve them. And let them serve you. Because you know what?
That can be a trick sometimes to allow people to help you out.
What I do is I don't fix any of my sprinklers ever, but everyone in the neighborhood knows they're broken and they all come fix them.
Gives them something to do. That's the least you can do there, you know?
Too. Yeah. Honestly, I wake up with brand new things fixed in my yard every day.
All right.
Tons
Great
of fun.
tips. Great tips.